Hey, hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back once again to Vicious Rants, and of course I'm your host, the one and only, often imitated, never duplicated, backyard superstar Tim Vicious. I'm doing this one on Tuesday, because, well, gonna be going out, and I'm gonna be out all day Wednesday, so instead of calling it off for the whole week, I figured I'd do it a day early, give y'all a little treat. Don't forget to go and watch it tonight, tomorrow, day after, next week, next month, next year, you know, any and all times when you're bored, especially you ladies when you get cold and lonely at night. Just pull out your phone and watch a video of me and you'll feel all nice and warm. Okay, maybe not really. You'll probably tend to resent men even more by the time you're done watching my show. Anyways, doing pay-per-view wrap-up. SummerSlam. Oh, God, that was beautiful. It was everything WrestleMania was not. Not discrediting WrestleMania, because WrestleMania, it was very good. It was a good 10 out of 10 show. SummerSlam, though, was fucking... it was, well, for Nerd Out moment, it was over 9,000! Alright, anyways, time for the matches. First match they had, Ring of Fire match. I've been so excited waiting for this. No, it wasn't going to have, like, where the only way to win is to have somebody set on fire, obviously, but, you know, Kane and Bray Wyatt in a Ring of Fire match. Basically, Inferno match, except you have to win pin or submission. Really good match, you know. Both guys put a lot of good effort into the ring, in the match. Saw the flames jump up, obviously, when the hard-hitting moves were done. And seeing Harper and Owen fighting like, what do we do, what do we do, what do we do? You know, trying to get in. The only thing I could truly question about during the match itself was, why would the Fire Crews intentionally leave a Singapore cane right by the fire extinguisher and no max retardant blanket? Nothing? No? Anyways, match wound up getting a dirty finish. Harper and Owen wound up grabbing that no max retardant blanket, put it on top of where the flames were, climbed on in, and started doing a roll-on Kane until Bray wound up getting the finish. After that, Bray sat in the rocker, and then they got the steps and bashed Kane in again. That was it. And then they drug Kane off. No idea on what's going on. They're probably going to make a story saying that Kane's getting brainwashed into being with the Wyatts. Real story is he's probably going off to go and film See No Evil 2. Either way, hoping Kane comes back soon so that way you can see it. Really looking forward on how that's going to play out. Next up, they had Cody versus Sandow, which mid-card match I've really been looking forward to, because both guys definitely got main event potential, you know, and even though Sandow came out with the Sandowized Money in the Bank briefcase, I still stand by the Tim Vicious-sized Money in the Bank briefcase / gym bag. Don't judge. Like I said, I'm on a budget. Anyways, good solid match back and forth. I flipped out when Cody wound up doing the uppercut to the throat just like Big Brother did. Just like his big brother Goldie did. You know, it's nice seeing him actually go and doing that a lot more. Also was really surprised seeing Cody go and do a springboard off the top rope. Never really saw him go and do a lot of high moves. Seen him do the moonsaults, but other than that, not really. Never really saw him as like the kind to go up and do the high risk moves, you know? But either way, it was a good solid match back and forth. You know, well, I shouldn't say back and forth. It seemed like, you know, maybe like 60-40, you know? But either way, it was good solid match. Cody got the crossroads on him. Got the crossroads on Damian. Got the win. big thing I was surprised more than anything was Cody wound up getting rid of the porn star mustache. You know? And then you had Sandow clutching onto the case saying that he hasn't got it, you know. But, anyways, next up, one of the big matches I was really looking forward to, World Heavyweight Championship match. Christian versus Alberto Del Rio for the World Heavyweight title. Really looking forward to this. I had my prediction saying Ricardo was going to come out and screw Del Rio over for a win for Christian. That didn't happen. It was a good, decent match, though. I'd say it was the best technical match of the night. Hands down. Best mat technician match of the night. Christian, 4-star ring general. Alberto Del Rio, good top-notch luchador over in AAA. He did a couple different MMA fights over in Japan. Did Greco-Roman wrestling. He's a good around mat technician. I'm just not a fan of the Del Rio gimmick. The wrestler I like, the gimmick I don't. But it was a 60-40 match, mostly favoring towards Del Rio. But Christian, I could see it. I was just, the whole time I was watching, I was like, come on, just get that one move in. Get the one move in. And Del Rio won with a cross arm breaker. Now, I don't know, this is just me, and I saw this. When Del Rio first had the arm breaker put in, and Christian was blocking it, having his hands like that, when Christian had his hands up, and he had Del Rio bent over like that, he had a clean shot for a pin. Now, I don't know what they're going to do with that, like if they're going to have it say on SmackDown that he did and he deserves one more match or not, but either way, Christian should have wound up having that because he had him down, and that whole time I was counting like a ref. 1, 2, 3. He had him down for a fucking 5 count. But either way, Christian, he did good with selling the shoulder injury. But really disappointed at the fact that he didn't win. Would like to see him in a title chase for the World Heavyweight title of the WWE. Excuse me. Either way, next match they had was Natalya versus whichever one of the Bellas didn't get the boob job. And I don't know which one it is. But either way, never really been impressed with the Bellas. Just looked at them like, what the hell makes you girls so special? Wow, you're twins. Okay, so what? Exactly. Anyways, it was actually nice to see Natalya get used properly for a match. And she wound up scoring the win with the sharpshooter. That match actually got more time than the average Divas match, which Vince, if you're watching this, or if any of your cronies are watching this, take note. That is on how a women's match should be. Don't give us no 2-3 minute match with headlock of doom and a whole bunch of hair pulling. No, actually give us a regular match, like you would see the guys do. It's a good idea, but next match they had, the whole reason that SummerSlam sold me. The one and only match that sold me. The reason on why I wound up going to see it. CM Punk versus Brock Lesnar. Now, they wound up announcing during the pre-show that it was going to be no DQ match, which all I thought was, okay, 10 get you 20, they're probably going to pull out Axel to stop Punk getting a win. But that never happened. But the match, oh my god, that was back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. That was just so beautiful. And TNA, I wish your creative team, I really hope your creative team, Dixie Carter, and anyone else that is employed by you, wound up watching that match and took note, because that is on how wrestling should be. Hard-hitting, ass-kicking, and full of action. Not saying that they gotta be all no DQ matches, but that kind of match, it was just, you know, Punk hit Lesnar with the GTS, Heyman stopped him, Punk had Lesnar in a triangle choke, and he almost wound up passing out like 2 times until Lesnar picked him up and then just threw him down like a sack of rocks. And yeah, Heyman wound up coming in, interfering. Punk slapped the Anaconda Vice on him. You know, that wound up, and then next thing you know, Lesnar picked him up, F5'd him onto a chair, got the win. I wasn't happy with the win, but I was happy with the match. And honestly, if I was Brock Lesnar or CM Punk, first thing I would have done after I got into the back, I would have went into the locker room, looked at everyone, and said, "Now fucking top that! I dare you!" Because that should have been the main event of the night. That should have been the main event for that pay-per-view. It wasn't. I'm not going to argue on that. They had their reasons. But that right there was the true main event of the show. Next up, for whatever reason, whoever set up the card, I don't know why they set it up like this, but they did. After that 12-star match, we get mixed tag match. Ziggler and Caitlyn versus AJ and Big E. It was fairly decent, you know. It was a fairly decent match. Wound up seeing, you know, both sides going at it fairly well. But it was obvious Caitlyn and Dolph were going to win. You know, I mean, hell, they wound up having AJ and Big E lose on Raw the week beforehand. So, obviously, that just showed that they weren't going to at the pay-per-view. You know? And the fact that they never once had Ziggler or Caitlyn cut a promo or say, you know, we should work together, do this match or that match to try and build up, it just didn't really seem like a bit. It felt really weird to me. Either way, next match of the night was the main event with Daniel Bryan versus John Cena for the WWE title. Hunter wound up being a referee. Figured something was going to be funny because Hunter wound up coming out to the King of Kings song instead of the game song. But they did that. That was a really nice, solid match. Good pace. A lot of good, hard-hitting moves. Seeing Bryan go and throw out a bunch of different moves and submissions. Wound up seeing Cena. He had a compression sleeve on his elbow, on his arm for his elbow. You know, it wasn't a big shock that he had a bad elbow injury, but surprisingly that it wound up costing that the next night on Raw he wound up saying that he wound up tearing a tricep and he's got fluid buildup in there and it's like this big right there and he's going to be out of commission for about 6 months. And go figure, the only way Cena can get a cheer from the crowd is when he says he's not going to be in the ring. Not going to be in in-ring competition for a while. Anyways, SummerSlam review. That match. It was very good, won't say fast-paced, but it was a very good, even-paced match. And one thing I wound up freaking out on that I swear if I was there and I saw John Cena, I'd have punched him in the head like a cheap hooker, because Bryan had Cena up on the top. He was getting ready to go for a Frankensteiner. Bryan bent down. Cena was still holding onto his legs. And Cena, while his feet were on the second rope, boom, dropped down. And you could see Bryan's head going like this to this. And all I could think is SummerSlam 97 when Stone Cold wound up hurting his neck. And if I was Vince, I swear, I'd have been screaming at Cena, and I wouldn't have fined him like an arm and a leg, but I'd have fined him. But I would have wound up giving him a fine for like maybe $2,000 or $3,000 just for doing that and damn near risking damn near killing off one of the hottest commodities in my company. You know, but either way, the big shocker for that match for me was not that Bryan won, but on how he won. The fact that he won doing a running knee right to the face. Because, as best memory serves, and I could be wrong, I don't remember, I don't ever remember seeing Daniel Bryan win a match by pinfall. That was the first time in my memory I've seen Bryan win a match by pinfall. He won, got crowned the new WWE Champion, jumping for joy. I was ecstatic. However, right after he did that pinfall and I blasted it out on Twitter, saw what time it was there was still about 10-15 minutes left in the pay-per-view. So all I could think is something's going to happen. You know, Randy's going to cash in. Next thing you know, boom, Randy's music cues. He starts to come down. Bryan's looking at him like, come on, come on, come on, come to daddy, come to daddy. And then Randy slowly backs away. Then next thing you know, Hunter, shot to the gut, pedigree, Randy walks in, cashes in the contract, and then does the pin. Now, to everyone that wound up, that was like, oh man, I can't believe that happened. How could this happen? No, no, no. Really? I mean, I'm not trying to be like the Miz, but really? Really? I mean, for fuck's sake, it was put out on the dirt sheets for since Randy won the Money in the Bank contract that he was going to do that. You know? And now all of a sudden you guys are like, I can't believe that happened. I'm in a state of shock. Really? Come on now. I mean, we all knew it was going to happen. We didn't want it to, and we were all hoping it wouldn't. But it was one of those things that you know is going to happen anyway. But either way, SummerSlam, hands down, WWE pay-per-view of the year. Punk versus Lesnar was match of the year, hands down. That goes up there in like the top 3 matches of the year. Or not even in the top 3 matches. That is actually, I would say, one of the top 3 matches. That's ranked number 1. Number 2 is Punk versus Taker, and number 1 has to be Kane, Daniel Bryan, and Ryback versus The Shield at TLC. But, or actually that was in 2012, so that one wouldn't count. But either way, that's in the top match of the year for 2013. So, it was a great pay-per-view. It was everything WrestleMania wasn't. It had everything WrestleMania needed. It was action, 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 action. Very little, oh, I don't think I could do it. Yes, you can. Stand up for yourself. Okay. Kind of bullshit drama. And it showed that if they book it right, you can give a good show, and have your wrestlers actually wrestle. You know? Alright, so I'm going to wrap that up. That's all the time for this one. So like normal, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, go back, watch all the other episodes. Look for me on Twitter at TimVicious. Look for my other account because sometimes Twitter decides to be a douchebag and suspend me for absolutely no reason. Tim_Vicious. Also, make sure all y'all check out all these cool ass cats right here on Twitter. KCat26. My brother from another mother, James Steele, JX2001. James, I hope you're feeling better by the time you wind up watching this, man. That Roxy Girl _ it's VBitch. James, Roxy, and Vicky all have their own YouTube pages. Make sure you all check them out. I am Danny Sunday, Mucky Mars. Charmaine, she's also got a podcast, Brit Wrestle Chat. It's a good show. Give it a good listen. Helen Robinson 82, Meow _Cakes, Jerry Soriano, Team Custom Made, Stacy Impact W Fan, Legion Lady Aaron, Legion of Nerds. Don't forget to check out legionofnerds.com, Wrestling with Subtitles, and all the cool ass cats that I wind up talking to on Twitter all the time. And like I keep telling y'all, you love me, great. You hate me, fuck yous.